Okay, hey guys, it's Shelby, and today I'm actually going to be talking about something important, and it's bullying. First of all, if you're being bullied, and you don't want to tell somebody because you're afraid, there are other things you can do to get rid of them. And, oh yeah, I did dye my hair purple. I use Manic Panic, but that's not the point. Like, if you want them to stop, there's methods to doing it. Like, you can, if somebody like makes a remark about you, then you can if you should know that like your best friends, usually my best friends at least, you guys will always joke about each other. She's like, oh yeah, she's a freak, like get out of here, like how best friends would. Like, it's not bothering you because it's your best friend, they don't mean it. But when somebody else does it, like a bully does it, you can imagine that that's your best friend. Like, oh, like she doesn't really mean it. That's my best friend. And it won't bother you as much. Like, it won't get to you. And there's a couple other ways, and one of them is like if you let it bother you, then it's just giving them the reward. And so you don't want to give them the reward for being mean to you. Basically, if you show to them that it doesn't bother you, then it just backfires on them. Like, it just completely backfires on them, and they're not going to try anymore. So if you show that it doesn't bother you and that you're happy, the things that haters will hate most is because if you're happy. Because they don't want you to be happy. They want you to feel miserable. And they will do anything it takes to do that. But if you show to them that it doesn't hurt you, it just completely backfires on them. And they can keep trying, but if you keep showing to them that it's not going to bother you, then what's the point? One thing that my boyfriend has taught me is that if you stay out of things, then you don't end up as upset as you usually would be. So like, if your friend, I understand if you're protecting a friend from something, that's completely different. But if don't start fights with people. And if somebody tries to start a fight with you, just walk away. Unless it's like a fist fight, then walk away the first time, and if they come back to you, make sure they punch you first. That's probably bad advice, but just saying, if they punch you first, go for them. But, that was bad advice. Probably shouldn't take that. But anyways, like, I don't get the point of bullying. Like, we're all the same person inside. There's not a difference between us. Like, you might be black, you might be Asian, I'm white, I'm Irish, I'm Scottish. I have purple hair, you might have blonde hair. You might I like Get Scared, and I need to put on a new Get Scared song. Okay then. Like, you might, we can look exactly alike, but we're the same person, really. All inside, we're the same person. I mean, not physically, but emotionally, we all have the same feelings. We're human. We're all in the same human race. And basically, you're just making fun of your own kind if you say something. So, like, if you had a black person and you had a white person, and the white person was taunting the other person about their race, you're basically taunting yourself back, because you're the same human. We're in the same human race. We're in the same world. There's not a difference between us. If some kid has autism, he's still the same person as us. Like, there's not a freaking difference. And then, so, I don't really get the point of it. And if you're one of the people who bully people, you can, like I just said, with the same person. What's the point of it? like, I could probably go on forever about this, but, like, if you take two things. I have colored pencils here, hold on. Okay. I have a yellow colored pencil, and I have a blue colored pencil. If this colored pencil was making fun of this colored pencil because of the way it looks, then, like, I have all these colored pencils here. I'm not sure why, but I do. They're all different sizes. They're all different shapes, colors, everything. But really, they're all colored pencils. Every single one of them is a colored pencil, and then there's not a difference between them. Sure, they all make different colors and everything, but, like, really they're the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a human race, and we all have different sizes, we all have different colors, we all have different thoughts, we all have different feelings, and we all have a different way of being grown up. It doesn't mean that you should taunt the other person about it, because it's going to get to them. If you call a person ugly, if you call a person fat, it's going to affect their self-esteem. It's going to break every bit of confidence that they ever had in themselves. Just every bit of it, and it's going to harm them really bad. Like, some people turn to alcoholism, they turn to other drug substances, I can't pronounce that word. Some of them will self-harm, they will contain an eating disorder. If you call somebody something that's just gonna break every bit of them, it's on you. And you're basically doing it to yourself too. They're not the only person in the world with this problem. I know all of us have been bullied at one point. Even if you show that it didn't bother you, it did. It broke a little bit of confidence in yourself. And like, you can get help with this. If you're being bullied, you can get help with this. You don't have to turn to drugs, alcohol, self-harm, etc., etc. You don't have to. There's better things. You can talk to an adult about it. If it's at school, then you can talk to your teachers about it. If it's on the computer, which usually happens now, because, like, even on YouTube, you see it all the time. All the time. Like, if I post, I see it all the time, and, like, I don't really say anything about it, because I don't want to get into it, but, like, what I don't get is that if you posted a comment on a YouTube video saying that, okay, let's take a Justin Bieber video, for example. So you posted something, oh my god, that, like, saying something rude about him, like, oh my god, he looks like a lesbian or something like that. Why would you even look it up, why would you even click on it if you didn't like him? And if you just, like, how I got to listen to Black Veil Brides, I was watching, I don't remember what I was watching, but I clicked on the video to one of their music videos, and it was Knives and Pens, and that was the first video and song I ever heard by them. And now they're my favorite band, but I see so much hatred towards them. So much hatred towards them. And I don't care if you don't like a band or somebody, but you don't have to, okay, this is where I'm going to lead to that, judging people. You can say that you don't judge a person. So many people have had that, but we judge people. It's a known fact that in a human body, we have to judge people. But you don't have to say it out your mouth. You can judge people in your mind. You don't have to say it out their mouth, because if you say it with your vocals, then it can destroy a person. But if you say it in your head, and if it's about the way they look, who cares? They like the way they look. Maybe. And if they don't, then they could change it. if you need other help with bullying, you can call any hotline. You can talk to your parents, school board. You can report something on the computer, talk to your parents about it, like after you report it on the computer. And if you want other YouTubers, you can go to Blake Bliss, any one of his videos. Emery Lane, Ahoy Nato, Cap and Destes, Hialita Bear, also known as Lita Monster Bunny, and Joel Favrier, which is actually Alexander Favrier on that. And you can also listen to some of the songs that I would suggest, and it would be like If You Knew by Joel Favrier, Never Give In by Black Veil Brides, Savior by Black Veil Brides, the acoustic version of Cynical Skin, and like any other song that would help with this. My life story song is Say Anything by Mariana's Trench. It always has been, because that song just explains every part of it, just explains my life. And if you can find a song that actually helps you through everything, it changes your point of view on so many things. You can change your whole world around, and I promise it will get better.